Are you worried about the state of gray zone warfare or the direction the game is headed in? Have I got some good news for you. I attended a behind closed doors meeting with the company's CEO for a sneak peek at the game's day-night cycle, whole roadmap, and more. What I saw was game-changing. If they deliver the features and mechanics detailed in their roadmap, GZW might become the ultimate FPS. Let's dive into what I learned. Thanks for watching the video. I'm Boomer, I'm old and just trying to compete in online shooters. I'm also a Gray Zone Warfare community leader, which means I get direct access to the company through a private Discord channel and monthly meetings.
We're gonna start with you, Boomer.
We've got a lot to cover, so I'm breaking this video into chronological order, detailing each feature and mechanic in each of the upcoming updates. This video should address what are likely your biggest complaints: aimbot AI, optimization, new content, heli wait times, and more. Madfinger Games plans to release a major update every 6 months. That includes 4 months of development, a month for polish, and a final month for hotfixes. The first update drops later this year. Each update will drastically change the game. To set the scene, we were in a Discord chat with Marek Robis, the Madfinger CEO. He was sitting on a couch in a dark room, talking excitedly about what's to come. The main attraction for this year's update is the day-night cycle. I was lucky enough to see several minutes of what that cycle looks like. It's absolutely gorgeous. They showed us a sped-up version of it from multiple map locations, starting first with a scene from a PMC's perspective as he stood in the middle of a town, blue skies above. The time began to quickly change. As the sun moved in the sky, so did the shadows on the ground. As it progressed to dusk and then to night, the sky became so dark that you could easily pick out the stars, which they modeled from the real star pattern in Laos. At night, the city had streetlights, dark alleys, and a glow that set it apart from the black jungle. Homes and buildings will have interior lights and candles. The sounds change at night. The AI behaves differently. As dawn neared, the sky morphed from black to purple to dark pink, bright pink, and then light blue as daylight returned. It's hard to put into words just how cool it looked or how much fun the new gear appears to be, because you can't have a day-night cycle without night vision goggles, lasers, flashlights, and more. They briefly showed what one set of goggles look like from a player's perspective. NVGs will include 1, 2, and 4 tubes. 1 tube goggles use a white phosphorus circle near the middle right side of the screen, which lit up a town. It didn't have batteries that deplete, but it's something they might add later. They're also considering letting us shoot out streetlights, turn off breaker boxes at buildings, and maybe even larger power grids to make areas completely black. Mara said he's unsure if that mechanic will drop this year, but he said, quote, "We will surprise you." I like that nighttime isn't annoyingly dark. The moon and city lights provide enough ambient light that you see where you're going, but it's dark enough that you can meld into the shadows. It's not going to be DayZ dark where you're forced to crouch in a corner for 20 minutes or log off and back in later. I think they balanced it pretty well. Weapon durability is also dropping later this year. They showed us a gun model that degraded from use. They want to increase gear fear, forcing you to be mindful about decisions. Individual gun parts will degrade over time and the wear will show. If you have an aged gun but then buy a new barrel, the barrel will be pristine by comparison. This will affect the gun's performance, as will temperature, which increases if you blow quickly through 60 rounds. So the degradation is going to affect economy too, the quality of the guns you loot from enemies, and then the choices you'll face. Weapon and armor repair comes with the first update of 2025. Here are more additions coming this year. A new AK series perfectly modeled after the AK-12 and 15. Improved AI, which will be less aimbody and more realistic. Stash improvements such as sorting and a better trading system. Diagonal sprinting, improved optimization. Faction shoulder patches, which will help you to distinguish between friend and foe. The patches are also visible through NVGs. There will be improved quests and more quests, including night quests and POIs, improved messaging and faction chat, a death screen that shows you how you killed an enemy when you loot them, DLSS and FSR updates, an update to keybinds, controls, shortcuts, and layouts. We'll get toggle lean and ADS, improvements to heli wait times, especially at extractions. When you call in a chopper to return to base now, it comes from your base. That can add several minutes to your wait. With 0.2, the helis will spawn from any side of the map and get to you much quicker. This update, I think, will bring a lot of players back to the game, and like with every update, there will be a lot of new content that will keep us all playing longer. The first update of 2025 will center on storytelling and lore, dynamic weather, and a surprise feature that Mara's excited about but not yet ready to reveal. He said they feel the world is too polished for the story they're trying to tell, so they're adding environmental cues to help paint a dark picture. Think destroyed trucks, dead animals, buildings with bullet holes. The environment should warn you that something happened here. These changes will include new POIs. Mara said the goal is for missions to take you across Lemang to jungle nooks and to new locales to help avoid repetitiveness in the task system. They also want to show you the region's brutal history. You'll stumble into all sorts of story props, logbooks, and newspapers. This update will also include dynamic weather. Mara said it isn't the type of video game weather that just sprinkles particles on your monitor, but actually simulates real weather and presents those hurdles and benefits to you as a player. There'll be map flooding during monsoon season, issues with mud, fog, and more. We'll also get weapon and armor repair, a new CZ platform, think the Bren 3, reload canceling, and the ability to drag a comed teammate. Each update will include improvements to AI and optimization. Update 0.4 is about the game's skills tree, capturable outposts, and a new rogue faction. GZW is taking a different approach to skills. Instead of forcing you to get 100 sniper kills from 300 yards, you'll naturally gain skills based on what you do and what you do well. The outposts add PvP hotspots. You and your faction can capture any of the outposts scattered across the map. If you capture the outpost, your NPC guards will spawn there for defense. So long as you maintain control, you'll get the benefits of a forward spawn point and access to unique vendors, guns, gear, and quests. Another cool feature is rogue factions. If you team kill too often, you'll be booted from your faction, lose access to those vendors, the base, and your spawn point. And there will be consequences for remaining in a rogue faction. The more work you do for it, the longer you spend in it, the harder it will be to rejoin your former faction. Update 0.5 includes the HK platform, crafting, workbenches, and a new vendor. There will be two versions of crafting, a simpler version for you out in the field, and then a more sophisticated version back at base. Mara didn't share many details because its design keeps changing and growing. He said they want to keep pushing the envelope. Updates will continue after 0.5 en route to version 1. Mara didn't detail all those plans just yet. He did say that Ground Zero won't be playable until version 1 drops. They want to keep the endgame secret to help build hype and anticipation. Once the PC version is complete though, they'll work on porting it to consoles. Now, here are some of the features that I jotted in my notes that are set to release before then, and Mara either spoke generally about these or I missed the exact release date. So expect a more robust economy with high-tier loot and treasure, better backpack looting. Vendors will have a limited supply of items, and that'll vary by server, unlocks and upgrades to your stashes. With each new update, there will be a wipe and enough new content to keep you grinding the game for longer. Every update includes AI improvements and optimizations, as I mentioned before, and Mara said the AI right now sucks. And that's a direct quote. He knows what the fix is, and the fix is coming. He reiterated the game right now is only 20% complete, but that it's improving. I think they've dropped about 8 hot fixes and patches since launch, and in doing so have already added a bunch of new important features. All right, that was a lot of ground to cover. I'm excited for the new update. I think day-night's going to change everything. What do you think? I'm in this for the long term. Do I wish all these features were in the game already? Of course, but I think we're all going to have to be patient. They've got a long ways to go before version 1, but I'm here for it. Hey, if you made it this far into the video, I really appreciate your time. Until next time, have a great day.